Hey, Cisco partner community, it's Paul Storage here at the Cisco office, and I have with me from new sales leader, Chris Lischy. And I really appreciate you coming to the program, Chris. Good to see you again.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate being here.
You know, we know Chris because he's been at some of the Cisco partner community events. And one of them, you actually did the Red Book of Sales. You came back out of popular demand talking about presentation domination. I asked Chris to actually come by the Cisco office here to actually do a recording because sales, it's not easy. A lot of people are trying to get in front of the decision makers, you know, and we're trying to be more effective. Chris, what can you tell us? What's happening? What's changing in sales? Go ahead.
Yeah, so a lot of decision makers are exceptionally frugal about their time and who they're going to spend it with. And a lot of salespeople that I work with and meet with are still trying to compete with Google when it comes to becoming an information source and showing the customer what the customer may already know about what they're selling. The big shift that's happening, that's always been part of a great salesperson's development, is understanding why your customers buy and how you've impacted profitability, productivity, compliance, things that are so important to the customer, they can't help but want to know more about it. Mm-hmm. Decision makers are going to make time for people who build a brand about that outcome and relay that information in a logical and consistent way. Email, voicemail, networking, what you say and how you say it, all part of your personal brand, vital to what we're doing.
You know, a couple months back, I actually tried to write down my own personal brand, and I struggle with it. It's almost like that startup that wants to create their mission statement, right? It's probably one of the most difficult things to actually do. Can you give us any guidelines there?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy for a lot of people when they don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. And it really comes down to understanding your belief in the outcomes that you deliver, the company you work for, the products and services that you sell, and yourself, which a lot of salespeople need to understand why they believe in themselves so strongly that they can go forward regardless of the rejections and the no's they get. And then most importantly, understanding why does your customer need to buy from you than anyone else? How does it benefit them the most?
Mm-hmm. You know, one of the things when you were actually at the Sales Champions a couple months back, we talked about how do you develop skills quickly, right? Can you talk about that? Because there's probably a few things that you can tweak pretty quickly to actually get more impact right away.
Right. Yeah. Some of the most powerful things that a lot of salespeople really need to work on are the questions they're asking. Are the questions that you're asking stopping people, making them think, and making them consider new information so they respond in terms of you? There's some pretty bad questions out there, Paul,
Sure.
and we've all heard them. Things like, let me tell you about my business, or let me hear a little about your business, or what's it going to take to earn your business? Those kinds of questions don't build relationships, don't show that you're deeply prepared about how you can help your customer. So as part of the program we talk about what questions are you asking, where are they coming from, and where do you want to take that customer in that conversation? That's how you're going to build a brand that's all about customer value.
Yeah. And I'm also thinking is that in sales, it's really important to develop a plan.
Right.
You know, what can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, I mean, we all see the LinkedIn tips and tricks. We've all seen the 2-minute videos about what to do to be great at sales or 5 ways to fill the funnel. The reality is sales is work, and it's harder now than ever with a self-sufficient customer who really doesn't know or think they may need you. Mm-hmm. So what we do in this program, the Little Red Book of Selling Workshop, is a 10-step plan that will show you how to be great at sales. It's non-manipulative. It's going to take some work on your part. But what you're going to get out of that are all the different ways that you can build your brand, prepare your conversation, have a killer personal commercial. Ask yourself, what can I do to be more valuable so that my customer replies to my emails, my voicemails, and engages me before I have to push my way through the door?
That's great. You know, I can't think of a better resource that Cisco has right here than Chris to actually develop your personal brand, how to get away from no, get closer to yes, and actually develop some of your skills really quickly. Chris, if the partner community wants to reach out to you and maybe you can have a one-on-one with them to actually work through this, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can reach out to me at chris@newsalesleaders.com or 973-404-0035.
And if you need to reach out to me, Paul Storage, Cisco Systems, I can be reached at 212-714-4051. Good selling.